What's up everybody, Will Borza here, the LA Recordist. It's the analog vlog. It's a vlog. Analog. I'm making basically like a breakfast scramble stir fry type thing for dinner tonight. Just kale, tomato, potato, onion, an egg. It's good. I like stir fry. They're easy, they're fast, they're delicious. Who doesn't love a good stir fry? It rained like all day today. Like, it's still raining outside right now. Trees fell down, floods. It was basically the apocalypse. But it's okay. I kind of love the rain. I think I mentioned that the other day. It's gonna be good. Oh yeah. So let's chat real quick about microphone technique, specifically choosing the right microphone for the right job. There's something that I call microphone action, or sometimes it's called microphone hardness. I liken it to different camera lenses. You know, sometimes you can get a very wide angle like this one, or you can get a very narrow with a long zoom action going on with your lenses. In the same way, different microphones have different purposes. Now this is pretty elementary stuff, but some of us didn't go to recording school like myself, and we had to learn it over the course of, and it had been much easier if someone had told me this from the beginning, and that's why I'm telling you right now. So in front of me I have 4 microphones, 2 dynamic microphones, 2 condenser microphones. These don't require phantom power, these do. Shure SM57, Shure Beta 52, is that right? Beta 52, Shure SM81, and this is a Groove Tubes GT57. They don't make these anymore, but they're cool. It's got a good sound. So this one is a small diaphragm dynamic, which means that the capsule here is very small, and this is a large diaphragm dynamic microphone, meaning the capsule inside is larger. Small diaphragm condenser, large diaphragm condenser. The idea behind microphone action is that you want to match the action of the microphone to the action of the instrument or voice that you're trying to record. And I've lined these microphones up from quietest to loudest source. This can handle being placed directly on a snare head and capturing some of the loudest sounds made in the studio. Whereas this, if you were to put this on a snare head, it would max out the diaphragm and you would get distortion that's not caused by the preamp, it's not caused by turning up too much gain or anything like that. It's literally physically the capsule not being able to handle the large amount of volume coming off of a snare drum. So what do you do with this information? Well, there are certain instruments that pertain better to some and don't pertain better to others. Let me give you a quick rundown. These great on snare drums, these are great on guitar amp cabs. You could put this on a trumpet or a trombone, horn instruments are really good. But this wouldn't necessarily be your first choice for a vocal, for a flute, for miking an ensemble from far away. This one, really good on kick drums, really good on bass cabinets. Actually, if you're trying to get a good podcast deep voice, something like this is actually pretty nice. This one would be good on a stringed instrument, except for maybe a bass, because this picks up higher frequencies better than it does lower frequencies. Larger diaphragms are able to move more, lower frequencies have higher bandwidth. You want to have a larger diaphragm on a lower instrument, a smaller diaphragm on a higher instrument. This is also good for large ensembles. If you're recording a concert and you put this the 3rd row back or something, 8 feet up. This is good on acoustic guitars, this is good on pianos, this is a great. Pencil mics are very, very, very useful. Drum overheads also. And this guy, great on vocals, naturally. Especially when it's very close. When you have a vocal here, it's going to sound a lot better than when you have a vocal here. There's sort of, if you're familiar with photography and cameras, you have an aperture, and the aperture is what can make things If you have like something very close, in focus, the background is blurry, that type of thing. That's aperture controls, that kind of thing. In the same way, a large diaphragm condenser like this, if you have it very close to a vocal, it makes it sound better than if you have it further away. It's focusing in on the vocal and it's sort of blurring out the background, if you get what I mean. Anyway, I hope that makes some amount of sense. The idea of matching loud sources to strong microphones and quiet sources to more sensitive microphones, lower instruments with bigger capsules, higher instruments with smaller capsules. Condensers typically have a wider frequency response, which means that it will capture more lows and more highs than the dynamic counterparts. These are going to be much more punchy, much more dynamic. That's why they call them that. And yeah, it's just good practice to fit your microphone to its purpose. Just like if you want to shoot a portrait, you get a 50mm lens with a very low aperture rating. If you want to shoot a landscape, you'd get a lens with a lot of zoom, so you could zoom in on something really far away. If you have any questions about any particular instruments and what type of microphone you should mic it with, write it in the comments, let me know. I'd be happy to help. Anyway, I gotta get back to mixing. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.